They say you're just fan service, but really they're missing a bigger picture. How much longer are we going to let them dictate what's in our games before it goes too far? This is Vince Smoke King. Welcome back to another video. We're going to get into the trailer right here, and man, we got to discuss what's going on, dude. Like, the Stellar Blade has been through so much controversy in the past, and now it's in the present. Guys, we have a new trailer right here. We're going to take a look at it first. I've already seen it, but we're going to take another look at it, and then we're going to further discuss some things that's been going on, some things that we're most likely going to be hearing. All right, let's get into this new trailer of the new Stellar Blade game that just came out, and we'll go over some things, some controversial stuff, and what we should be fighting against, and just, the title of the video. We'll go into the title of the video once we take a look at the trailer again, just to refresh our memory and what we're actually seeing, what we're actually about to be getting. So let's go. Already, the graphics looks amazing. And by the way, I've already seen the trailer. This is only my second time actually seeing it. I'm gonna see it with you guys. We're gonna see if it's anything I miss, anything that you guys might have missed. We're watching it together. For you, it might be one of the first times. For me, it's the second time. But let's just go into it. Already, I can tell by the music I'm gonna shut the hell up. But already, I can tell just by the way she's standing, by this outfit of her legs alone, by the music, they really did their thing with this game. Shout out to Chef Dub. They went through a lot.
Evie. Evie. Evie.
I'm listening.
The Scarlet Sin. That's the beginning and end of it all. How about you try taking a hit?
So her name is Evie.
You're acting.
I've already heard some things about the way that she looks right here, and I've got some things to say, man. But I'm gonna keep them to the end. This trailer is not that long. This video is going to be no longer than about maybe 8 minutes. Not going to take up too much of your time, but it is some things that needs to be said so you guys can understand exactly the type of stuff that we shouldn't be allowing to happen in our video game.
A little strange today.
Oh, yeah? It's our first mission in a while. Aren't you a little excited?
Stop saying.
She looks really cute, man. I don't care what no one has to say. She looks really cute.
Take it easy.
She look real cute. I'm sure she'll look real sexy. I'm sure she'll look very sexualized, and that's what the IP is all about, or one of the parts of the IP.
Roger Kenna. Tracking.
출입문 닫습니다. Doors closing.
The graphics is insane. This is like night and day. If I had to tell you what graphics, the Stellar Blade that came out before this, Stellar Blade 1 per se, and then you want to call it Stellar Blade 1 now, the graphics weren't bad. The graphics of that game was really good, but now it's like, it's even better. I kind of wonder, it's like, bro, it's like this game had more money. It had a bigger budget. And honestly, it's like, if this is what we were supposed to get in the first Stellar Blade, was this like the vision of the first Stellar Blade? Because if you know, you know. If you know anything, you know that Shipped Up was going through a lot of stuff between Sony and console and all this other stuff. But again, I'm pausing. I shouldn't be doing that. Let's go.
How's it looking out there?
I can't stand crowds. Maybe
She got a fine little booty. I said what I said.
In the movies, this is all.
We don't talk about it.
Hey.
Well, just saying. It's a cliche. Wait, the target stopped.
Hearken! The false rain shall cease!
So I didn't catch it the first time around. He injected himself with something. Ooh. She's so dope, man. She's so dope, man. Wow. It's my hands. Still weaving. She popping and weaving. She weaving and popping. Loving her, loving her. Welcome back, Shift Up. Welcome back. But they never left. Please have this game come out this year or early next year. My God. My God. Please. No release date? No release date? All right, now to what we actually need to be discussing. This game is going to get so much controversy, and it's our job as gamers to fight against this type of stuff. People are going to be saying everything they can possibly come up with to destroy this game, to make this game not succeed. This game promotes everything that we need in gaming. Not only that, but it's taking the creative liberties that we need to be able, that these developers need to be able to feel comfortable to take without having to deal with so much backlash. These characters are fake. These characters are fictional. These characters do not exist, and they should not get the same moralities of characters and people in real life. These guys are 1 and 0s. They're bots. They don't exist. There's no one really named Evie. There's no one really named Eve. Who cares about their age? They don't exist. Listen to me. They don't exist. They're androids. They're endo-humans. Even in their own universe, they're not even human. So why are we using human moralities for stuff like this? I mean, it's Mongol. I love the guy. I surely do. And I'm sure this is taken out of context, but even if it isn't, I have no problem with Asmongold Gold himself. But this is something that I disagree with, and I even left the comment right here because I do disagree with it. But let's see what he said.
Why does she look 12 and talk like she's 30? Personally, I would prefer they make the character look older, especially since it's being so sexualized and it does look like pretty young. It's not in the danger zone, but it's near the danger zone. It's a little bit odd, right?
I don't agree. I think these characters are fiction, and we need to give these creative liberties to people to create bigger stories. Imagine this. Imagine a world where companies are so scared to make their own judgments, to make their own stories, to make their own unique games, that every single game just becomes a stale version of another game. People are arguing and angry and using real life morality decisions and real life like glasses and filters to look at this game, to look at games like this, and they shouldn't. Take off the glasses. This is a video game. All that, nobody is being harmed. Nobody, no real person is being sexualized. Nobody is going to be harmed because Evie or Eve looks better than you in real life, and your insecurity can't take it. And therefore, now you're going to go and hate the game because you don't look like them. You don't think anyone should look like them because of whatever thing you got going on in your life. Now you're going to make it where this game has to be censored. Why? Why are you going to take that away from people that actually enjoy the game this way? Why are you going to take that away from Shift Up? Shift Up fought against this thing. Shift Up in the first Stellar Blade fought against this type of thing. What was the controversy? It was woke versus anti-woke gaming argument. Shift Up had to go through this whole debacle about censorship because Sony or whoever they were through, they switched their outfits up their game. Guys, that may sound small, but it's not. The creative liberties that this studio wanted for their game was in those outfits, and it was in for the game, period. People want to go out, right? And they want to defend every single thing in the world, and they want to white knight everything. You don't have to white knight everything. You don't have to defend everything, but you should defend what I'm about to tell you. And what I'm about to tell you is that this is an exact type of thing you need to be fighting against. If they censor Eve because they think that I don't know, somebody's Karen wife or someone's Karen girlfriend or some Karen or some feminist or whatever it is, whatever crowd that said censor her, right? You appeased that crowd and it made it where they had to censor Eve. This was not what they wanted to do. This took away from their creative freedom. This was not what the game was about. This was not what the game should have had in it. The game wanted to be a sexualized action game of a female badass that you play as Eve, Evie, or whatever the Stellar Blaze that is, and you play this action game. And we have all these people saying, "Oh no, it's harming women." How? How's it harming women? It's not harming anyone at all. These characters don't exist. What's her age? What does it matter? I'm so serious. They're fictional. No one is being harmed. Clearly, she isn't a baby. Clearly, she's not a 12-year-old. These guys don't even age, gang. They don't even age. They're stuck this one age. What do you mean? They're stuck looking like this forever. What do you mean age them up? Do you even know if they can age? Can they even age? I mean, that's a big question. Can they even age? I don't know. But how much longer are we going to deal with censorship in our games? How much longer are we going to let this one crowd of people take away some stuff that we could have got? If they don't want to play this game, they don't have to play it. If you don't like sexualized themes in games, if you don't like playing sexy characters in games or sexy female characters in game, why don't you just go play God of War Le Fay? I have no problem with God of War Le Fay. I'm actually one of the people that don't get why so many people are angry over God of War Le Fay. I don't get it. I support God of War Le Fay. I think it's one of the most. I think that Kratos' wife is one of the most badass people that's already established in God of War. She fought Thor to a standstill. She obliterated entire battlefields, and was the only legitimate giant in the area at that time. They had to take her out with the main character sickness. She's a certified crash out demon. That's what she is. I have no problem with her as an actual character. I don't. If you don't want to play this sexualized action character of a girl or whoever, a woman, whoever, go play God of War Le Fay. It's right there. It's coming out. We don't even have a release date for this game yet, but God of War Le Fay does. I want to believe it does. So don't play Solar Blade, Blood Hunt, or Blood Rain. Go play God of War Le Fay. You don't have to sit here and just because you don't like something, have to take out and destroy the creative liberties of other companies or artists or actors or whatever it is that somebody wants to create just because you don't deem something progressive and woke enough. Listen to me. Progression kills tradition. It is what it is. Progression kills tradition. What does that mean? Think about it like this, right? If you get married, back in the day, if you get married, it was man and woman. Progress, man and man, progress, woman and woman, progress, gay. We don't have to go to such a stance on progression that we just take out all tradition and everything. Now, every single time you watch that new movie or that new series, now it's every single character has got to be gay. Every single character has got to have some type of gay marriage. It has got to be a lesbian marriage. It doesn't have to be that way. We can still have tradition while still being able to do those other things. It's like, it doesn't, just because we have progress doesn't mean we have to destroy tradition. And going about these games, we don't have to sit here and be like, okay, well, Stellar Blade, right? It's supposed to be sexualized. It is. You are supposed to be looking at and be like, damn, that's a perfect ass woman. That's a perfect ass girl. It's supposed to be that way. The developers are doing this on purpose. The game is supposed to be this way. If you don't like it or have a problem with it, you don't have to buy it. You don't. The game already succeeded. People have already spoken. You have already spoken. But the people, these small minority people that's going to come up to this game and white knighting, saying it's going to talk about her age, talk about her appearance, going to talk about how much skin she's showing, and like her new stuff, how her face looks, and saying, oh, this is another doll character, have never played the game anyway. Their opinion is irrelevant. Let's go right here, right? She looks like a doll. Let's discuss that part. She looks like a doll. No, she doesn't. Here's the thing, okay? She looks like a doll and she has no emotions. That's one of the arguments I've seen. That is a lie. If you paid attention to any of the Stellar Blade, if you actually played the game, you would know that the game is about the Stellar Blade, about the angel, it's about Eve going through all these things, her traumas, her trials, learning, going through these missions, seeing these people try to survive their day-to-day life and uncovering the truth. And all of this like it does things to her. It makes her angry, it makes her mad, it makes her sad, it makes her feel worth it, makes her feel like she doesn't have like she's failing. Like she's failing in them. She's failing herself. She was hurt because her best friend Taki was killed at the start of the game. I would say spoiler alert, but it happened at the start of the game. I'm sorry. If you play the game, you already know that Taki gets seriously messed up at the start of the game. I'm not gonna spoil everything in case people haven't seen the game, but I'm pretty sure if you clicked on the video, 9 times out of 10, you definitely have either heard some things, played the first game, or is curious enough to hear my opinion. And my opinion is it doesn't matter how good she looks. First of all, there are women who look this good. I don't have to click it in, but I'm really just curious. I'm scared even. Okay, very close. She's not real though, right? Mm. You don't want to scroll down, but use your best imagination. I've been to anime conventions and people walk around with 2 sets of strings on their body and that's it. And people will get online, look at a video game character, right? We'll look at a costume in a video game and say, this is too much. They'll say, this is too much. Meanwhile, in real life IRL, we have people walking around in less than this in anime conventions. But you're worried about ones and zeros and bots? Well, how about you actually worry about the crimes are actually getting committed? Because here's the thing, games don't cause people to do anything. Let's look into it. Do video games cause people to be angry? They cause people to do things, to have a violent behavior, right? They said from the American Psychological Association have found just a small link between people being, like throwing their little temper tantrum, yelling or pushing, but they do not correlate to serious violence or criminal behavior. What does that mean? Just because you're a little weirdo and you like your little weird fictional shit doesn't mean that you're going to go out here and do any criminal behavior or severe violence. It doesn't mean that. It just means you're a weirdo. Defend your right to be a weirdo. Defend your right to have whatever it is you got going on at your house, behind your closed doors, at your house. Defend your freedom of speech. That's what you need to do. Defend your freedom. I'm gonna be real with you, to goon. The freedom to goon. The freedom. Matter of fact, let's look into it a little bit deeper before I just go on a tangent. But can the same thing be said about anime and other fictional media? So let's just start here, right? The same thing, small link to aggression. Passive medias like anime, films, and books share a similar relationship with behavior as a video game. They can influence people short term, but are not proven to cause real world violence. I want you to use your imagination for a split second. Just use your imagination, okay? Use your imagination to say that one day they did this. They did this to Eve. Imagine Grand Theft Auto 6. Violence. Oh, this makes me feel uncomfortable. So what are we gonna do? We're going to censor it. Grand Theft Auto has actual murder. Grand Theft Auto has carjackings. Imagine playing Grand Theft Auto without being able to jack a car and without being able to shoot people. Would that game be playable? Imagine Grand Theft Auto without, I don't know, walking to a strip club. Imagine playing Grand Theft Auto without being able to realistically shoot anyone. Would that be playable to you? Would you buy Grand Theft Auto 6? Would you be hyped for Grand Theft Auto 6? Yes or no? You wouldn't, right? The reason why you would not be hyped is because Grand Theft Auto 6 was supposed to be this. Until people came in and made it this. And this is the type of thing that we should be fighting against. We should allow companies to create the creative liberties, take whatever creative liberties they want, and be able to do it. One of Stellar Blade's biggest IP hooks is this. To destroy it is destroying damn near half the shit that what made it the game what the game is supposed to be. Here's the thing, okay? The simple truth of the matter is that Eve in the game, once she finds out more of the truth, she comes in more into herself. You can change her outfit depending on how you feel, how she feels, or whatever. She's becoming more human. That's one of the biggest reasons why she can change her outfit right then and there. Besides her just being a bad bitch, we all know what kind of game this is. But that's one of the reasons why you can change her hair color. You can put things in her hair. You can do this. You can do that because she's becoming more into herself. She's going through all of these trials, all these adversaries, and now she is changing. She's not the same at the start of the game as she was. That's just the truth. Guys, we have got to fight against this type of censorship because one of these days, this is all virtual stuff. People are so angry. Virtual titties, virtual virtual ass, stuff that don't exist, and will defend these characters that don't exist like an actual crime is getting committed. What crime is being committed? Who's being hurt? These characters don't exist. But you got these people coming in here and when on White Knight this, oh, how old is she? How old is she? Just play the damn game. Here's the thing. If we just stop, pull it back and chill, allow games to tell their stories. We don't other games, right? Grand Theft Auto 6 is a game that's going to have its story, its traumas, its trials. It's going to have its adversaries, right? It's going to have all of them, right? And hopefully it has a story that is a big hook, right? Imagine this. Imagine studios get afraid of doing any real like danger zone like stuff. They just get so afraid that everything just becomes everything else. I've already said this, guys. One of these days, they're going to knock on your door. The government's going to knock on your door. We don't fight against this type of stuff. The government's going to knock on your door. Say, hey, Bob, we heard that you're a little freak who has to be handcuffed to his bed. And in the Bible, that's a sin. So we're going to lock your ass up. We have to fight against this type of censorship. There's so much. How far is too far? How far does something go before it just becomes unnatural, invasive, and just unfair and wrong? Patriarchal power gone amok. Just patriarchal slop, essentially, where we see the patriarchy of this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and eventually it becomes where everyone has to be the fucking same. Everyone has to have the same opinions. Everyone has to be Christian now. Everyone has to believe in this. Everyone has to believe in that. Everyone has to believe in all this stuff. How stale is our world going to be before they knock on your door? They're already thinking about taking your guns away if you live in America anyway. They're going to knock on your door and also say, okay, One Piece has too much fan service in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to confiscate all of your One Piece books because it has too much fan service in them. Pretty Little Liars. No one can watch it in America now because it's in prison and depicts women going through a series of things they shouldn't be going through. How far is too far? How far before they're knocking at your door about the stuff that you got that's not harming a single soul? How far is it going to go? And that's really it. Again, just for this video, just wanted to get that out. We got to support Stellar Blade BloodRayne. Otherwise, what's the point, dude? What is the point? Because eventually, the slope is going to get slippery. It's already a slippery slope. Eventually, you're going to wake up one day and you're not going to be able to shoot people in Grand Theft Auto. One day, you're going to wake up and every single person is going to look like Dragon Age Velgard, which if you don't know, I have no problem showing this before I get out of here. Dragon Age Velgard. I have no problem showing people this picture. It's actually one of my favorite pictures, actually, where every character has to look like this now. Every last character now has to look like this because some Karens are angry about how sexualized some characters are, how pretty some characters are. Now, every character we have is this. That seems like hell, and I hope that when that time comes, I have enjoyed everything I want to enjoy, and I'm either on another planet or in heaven. Because I'm telling you right now, the world where this is the normal, where every single thing is just a ripoff of another thing, where you where violence is linked to video games and or oh, because this woman is too pretty, it makes women feel bad and it decreases birth. No, let's just stop it. These are fictional characters, they don't exist, and we need to defend the creative liberties taken by these companies. I said it in my I have an Anissa video. So here we go.
Credible and realistic female counterpart. A lot of you aren't ready, won't accept, and will deny the truth. And that's completely fine. I've come with the unbiased truth. Let's start off with who damn sure it is.
Start off.
This girl has to be one of the most unliked characters in fiction. Right next to the one you guys don't like. Amber could barely even get through Mark's superhero lifestyle.
No, you're a superhero.
And the audacity to make her black. They knew this was going to be the outcome was downright devious. This is exactly why it doesn't pay to race swap. Because certain stories will end up looking worse than what they really are. But as much as I love Eve, I mean legitimately all of Eve, you couldn't even imagine Eve is beyond well suited enough to deal with Mark's superhero lifestyle.
You look like you need to talk about yesterday.
Eve has shown multiple times that she can't handle the Viltrumite lifestyle.
Eve?
Mark! It was so long.
Slight spoiler warning. Mark had to leave again. And Eve failed the assignment again. Don't even get me started. She didn't even fail the assignment. Goku was gone 7 years. I know a lot of you don't like Anissa for obvious reasons, but Invincible's OG plot probably looked a lot like this. Mark going from human to superhero to accepting his Viltrumite journey.
From human to superhero to accepting his superhero Viltrumite journey. Do you think that that is a good story? Because I do. It kind of feels to me like Anissa from Invincible was supposed to be his third and final girl. But you want to know what it feels like happened? Maybe the comic dropped and then the backlash. People angry, saying X, Y, and Z, completely hating the character. I'm gonna say that that's all just crazy fan people. I'm not saying that's all crazy. I'm saying that there's a line between fictional and reality. These characters do not exist, and they should have been able to tell their story how they wanted it. If they wanted to tell a story and show that Amber was way too incompatible with his life, show Eve was more compatible, but the Viltrumite way of things, she just couldn't hang in there and just couldn't keep up. And even though Anissa is horrible and Mark hates her, have Mark Eve's relationship struggle and ultimately fail. But have Anissa already be changed by that time, and have Mark and Anissa reconcile, put their traumas behind them, bury the hatchet, and then move on to rule over the Viltrumite, society, rule over the intergalactic empire-ness of the cosmos. Because spoiler alert, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the seasons that are coming in Invincible. And by the way, we have got to get there. Whatever happened with Anissa is a canon there. It's got to happen for the story to progress. And if you remove it out, you're destroying a canon event. And therefore, we're not going to get Invincible. We're not going to get the series. The series is going to end right now. They can't go past this point because it's so soon. So it's a canon event. But you get what I'm saying here. Does that make sense? Amber, human life, could only go so far. Eve, superhero. Anissa, Viltrumite. You see the trauma. You see the problems, the conflict, the moral dilemma. You see all of the bullshit that Mark has to go through just to see them both bury the hatchet and Mark forgive her. And she forgives herself because she doesn't regret Marky. And then we move on, and then we get this ending. Does that sound good? It sounds good. It sounds good right to me, like the pen's on fire, right? But here's the problem. When studios and their pen is on fire and they hear the backlash, sometimes people get some water. They get some water, right? And they douse the flame. They literally just douse the flames. And now we get Eve that's going to regularly show that she cannot hang with Mark every time something happens. Over and over and over again. That's what we're going to get. Mark Grayson has got to get hurt just because he's a Viltrumite. Over and over and over again. 7 years is a Viltrumite sleep. That's what it is. It's a Viltrumite nap. Viltrumites nap for 7 years. Viltrumites take 5-year naps. They live for hundreds of years. Who do you think could have dealt with that easier? Anissa or Eve? Who? I'm not sure. I'm not saying what she did was right or wrong. No, it's definitely wrong. But I'm not saying that what she did was right at all. But I'm saying that the story that they wanted to tell, they should have been able to tell it without feeling like They had to tell a certain story because they were afraid of the backlash. That's all I'm saying. We need to let people be able to make whatever it is that they want to make without worrying about this danger zone. It's fictional. It's fake. We need to let people be able to take creative liberties to show things that would otherwise make people feel a little uncomfortable, to make compelling stories, because we're going to get to a point that compelling stories are gone, where every single story is hidden behind some PG-13 wall because there's a danger zone right here. Don't cross this line. You go over here, you get arrested. How many people feel like their day-to-day life, they're already over here? Just for everything. One of these days, again, the reason why you gotta defend against this type of thing, censorship, is, again, because one of these days, when they knock on your door for a real life unfair problem, remember it started with video games first. It started with video games first. Now that show you was watching is illegal now. Now, whatever freaky thing you're into, handcuffs and whatever stuff that you're into, you got going on, illegal now. All because some people behind some desks, some people that just are so insecure and just haven't seen the real world, want to have a comment on everybody else's life and lifestyle. I live in America, where if you go in someone's house trying to take their shit, I live in the South, you will get shot. So where's that same energy with this video game nonsense? Stand up, defend your games before it gets to the point where they knock on your door for actual stupid shit problems that are happening in your real life. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.